Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you've had a good start to the weekend and that your week was alright as well. Thank you everybody for jumping into that live chat room very early on tonight, and I can see your names in there. Let me get you guys up on screen and let's see who's in the live chat room tonight. We have Neil and Jennifer just going through there, and Carl, Rebel Rocker as well, and Shawnee Key, and Carol and Lynn. Deputy Lynn is in the house as well. We've got Steve there, Wang Fuzi, Billy, and Vince is about to go through as well. So hello, and then Dr. Hex and Tortora Porco. Hello guys, thank you for joining me tonight, and let me get the names of my patrons up on screen immediately in the live stream because they make this possible in the first place and everything that I do on YouTube possible as well. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. You know who you are. Their names go across the bottom of the screen with every single live stream that I do on the channel, which is on a Tuesday and a Saturday, and the Patreon site, if you want it, is there. Just patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. Nice and simple. So we've got quite a lot to get through today. We've got lots of pictures, we've got a pick roulette as well, and we've got the news that we've just passed 177,000 subscribers on the channel. So a massive thank you to all of you for hitting that subscribe button as well as the like button, all of that cool stuff, because 177,000 people is quite a lot. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And you might see in the live chat room in the comments section that there is currently a vote going on for tonight's cover video. So it's between More Than Words by Extreme and Don't Slow Down by Mr. Mister. So there's going to be a vote for that, and I can see on my screen only the bottom section of it, and I can see that More Than Words has 52% of the vote. So this is a really close one tonight. If you want to have a say on which cover I'm going to play later on in terms of the video cover that we always play, then have a click on that poll to get whichever one you want to see the percentage increase. And it's only 2% in it at the moment. I think last time was the first time that we used the poll, and I think it was a little bit more of a landslide for one song rather than the other, but tonight is a very close one, and More Than Words has just gone up to 53%. So I'm going to leave that on screen, and you guys can click on that, and then we'll see where we end up. And that's going to be one of those to keep an eye on. Only 3% in it, so a couple of clicks either way is going to sway it. Anyway, the other news for tonight really comes from last night, where I did a little update after, actually, was it last night or the night before? There's so much going on, I lose track of the nights, but it was either last night or the night before that I got a message over on Facebook that Jackson Brown had shared the live analysis video that I did on himself a few weeks ago. I've now stopped doing the live analysis videos just because they're a little bit risky from a copyright perspective, but Jackson is one of those guys that allows his music to be used in his performances, and it's great as well that he shared it on his Facebook page, and he said that it was pretty cool, so I'll definitely settle for that when you got a guy like Jackson, the actual person you're talking about, thinking that the video is cool. So that was definitely great to hear about, and a massive thank you to Jackson Brown for even sharing it in the first place. But it's also good in that sometimes when you do get a troll on the channel who's saying about any particular video, saying, oh, this is rubbish, and whatever they say, these trolls, and it's great, especially when you've got the person who I've looked at in the video has actually given it their thumbs up, given it their approval. So if they're happy with it, that's all I can wish for. And anybody else, especially, you know, if they're trolling and trying to be aggressive with it, then I don't mind, because the person who I've done the video about likes it, and so that's all you can wish for. So thank you to Jackson for that, but also thank you guys for watching the videos, hitting the thumbs up as well, and commenting. It all helps the videos to get out there, and that's how people get to see them across the world, and how eventually the artists themselves get to see them. And it's great when they get in touch, and I do have it relatively regularly that the people that I do feature get in touch either through Facebook or email or Instagram. Steve Stevens was one of those that got in contact with me on Instagram a while back, and that's how the whole Under the Spotlight thing is going to be, well, it's going to be possible in the future, because we just kind of built that bridge between him watching me doing an analysis video of his playing, and he enjoyed it. And when I asked him would he be interested in coming on the channel for Under the Spotlight, he said that he's definitely up for doing it. So that's going to be happening in terms of the recording at the end of this month, but then probably it's going to be not next month but the month after is when Steve Stevens is going to have his solo analysed, and he's going to be playing for us on the channel, which is going to be great. And next month, I say next month, it's not this Sunday, but next Sunday, the next episode of Under the Spotlight, that's going to be Daniel Donato, who's going to be joining us and laying down his country-infused solo. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Daniel does with the backing track and with his solo, considering the fact that he's very much in that country genre, or cosmic country as he calls it, and it's going to be really interesting to jump into his stylizations and techniques on that fretboard. That'll be next Sunday. So again, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you are, and you hit that notification bell to get the notifications for every video on the channel, but especially the Under the Spotlight videos as well, because they come along on the first Sunday of every month, and there might be a guitarist that you are a fan of that's playing for us on the channel. So make sure that you are subscribed and hit that notification bell. So I know that there have been a couple of donations in the super chat window and in the PayPal window as well. So let me get the PayPal donations window up on screen. That almost worked. There it is. And let me put the percentages above that as well, so you guys have got a level playing field with what happens in the super chat window percentage wise, and the PayPal donations are, I think, between 3 and 5%, rather than, as you can see, the 35 to 45% that YouTube take from the super chat donations. Anyway, we had a donation very early on from Orlando, as always, the $2 donation, and with his customary spike, the likes with lots of thumbs up, great idea as always from Orlando. So if you can give that thumbs up a click, that would be much appreciated, because we are at 126 likes already. Let's see if we can get a really early spike of the likes going on in this live stream, and we are aiming for tonight 270. That is our target for a pick roulette next Saturday, and as it says, it's going to be your chance to win if we do hit that target. And then after this week's or today's pick roulette, then you can start typing the I agree, and that's the new format that we just start doing that afterwards if we're going to reach that goal. And if we do reach that goal of 270, we will see where we end up. And let's have a plug of the mug while Orlando's donations being read out. That's what we always do here on the channel, and this is the mug that I use for Saturdays. There's lots of different mugs that you can get your hands on in the tray underneath this video, and if you want to head over to the spring.com store, then you can do. There's a link in the description below as well, and you can get your hands on the tumblers, and I have ordered mine, so it is on the way. And I like the fact that in the description it says about keeping your hot drinks warm and your cold drinks cold, so it's like insulated or something. So that's going to be good if it ever gets warm here in the UK. Then I can keep some really cold orange squash on the go, but also probably more appropriately it's going to be for the winter when there's a cup of tea that you have to try and keep warm. So I'll just put it in my tumbler and then everything will be great. So I am waiting on delivery of mine. I know that there are a few tumblers that have made their way out there already, so thank you guys for purchasing those from the store. And we do have a few pictures tonight of some Wings of Pegasus glasses, I think the pint glasses, so we'll have a look at those as well. And I've used my pint glass, I've got it. And this is the other thing about the pint glasses. I know that Deb said her pint glass either got damaged in the dishwasher, so maybe I know that I'm getting contrasting reports in terms of people putting the glass in their dishwasher. I think it's got to be dependent on whether it's or how it's stacked. It might be rattling around or something, I don't know. But also the temperature. I've had mine in the dishwasher. I think it's at 45 degrees, something like that. I don't know if that's the correct. It strikes me as about right for the temperature. I don't know what temperature you guys have, or whether they change on different washing machines. Not washing machines, but dishwashers. Definitely don't put it in your washing machine, because that definitely will damage it. So yeah, the dishwasher, you can, I think maybe if you have it on a low temperature it'll be okay. It's been alright in mine so far. If you want to be super safe with the pint glasses, then just wash them by hand. That's always going to be safest. But also, Deb, as I did mention on the last live stream, if you can email me at wingsofpegasus or wingsofpegasus@hotmail.com, then that'll be great in order to then sort out a replacement if your pint glass has been damaged, because yeah, we want everybody's pint glasses to be looking spick and span and like new for as long as possible. So yeah, if you can send me over an email, that would be great. Anyway, moving forward, we have had another donation, and this has disappeared since the beginning of the live stream, as tends to be the case with YouTube. Unfortunately, it disappears, so I'm going to have to refresh the page where I've just read out Orlando's donation from, and hopefully it's going to pop up so we can see that it was Ginny. So thank you for that donation, Ginny, and it was for $10. And let me try and retrieve the message. And it says, Phil, crazy question. Even if they have never played on, how is that guitarists can tell one brand of guitar just by hearing it? Thanks, take care. So thank you for that, Ginny. And I don't think I've ever seen a guitarist blindfolded and given them, say, 10 brands of guitar and then being able to tell you exactly which one's which. It's going to be more the case that if a guitarist does know the different sounds between guitars, they will be brands that they're very used to playing, and they get very used to the particular sounds, the tones, the richness and the brightness of particular guitars that they already know. And it's going to be a lot more relevant for acoustic guitars. If you're talking about electric guitars, when you plug in an electric guitar and you put some distortion on the sound, it's going to be very difficult to be able to tell the difference between one guitar and the next, because it's all about your pickups and whether you've got a humbucker, single coil. So it's not really about the make of the guitar, even though the make of the guitar is going to give you the body shape and the type of wood that's being used, potentially a little bit of an effect on the sustain, because that's something that certainly Gary Moore looked for in his Gibson Les Pauls, just playing it acoustically and seeing how long each note rang out for before he'd then plug it in, because he'd know whether it's just naturally got a little bit more resonance through the body of the guitar, even though it was electric, and how long that note could just maintain its sustain for without any effects. But anyway, yeah, so telling the difference, I'm not sure that guitarists can do it. I know that I would struggle with guitars that I've never played before. In here, because I've obviously played my guitars quite a lot, I'd be able to probably tell you which one's which on clean tones. Once you put distortion on, it's going to be really difficult to tell the difference, especially if I'm going through the same distortion with every guitar. And for example, the Ibanez, the Steve Vai Gem has got humbuckers on there. My Ibanez Geo's got humbuckers on as well. So trying to tell the humbuckers apart could be quite difficult, especially with that distortion on the tones. So yeah, when it comes to plugging in my Fender Strat and playing that through a clean tone, and then playing the Gem, for example, on a clean tone, then it'll be night and day. I'll know exactly what my Fender sounds like and exactly what the Gem sounds like. So yeah, it's going to be a lot easier like that, but it's because I've had a lot of exposure to the guitars. I can tell the difference between the sound of them due to the exposure. I'm not sure that people can tell the difference between guitars they've never played before. Some guitars you've never even heard of the make before, so it'll be very difficult to name the guitar if you don't even know what make it is in the first place. But anyway, thank you for that, Ginny, for the donation and the question. And there has been a donation in the PayPal window as well, so thank you for this. It's coming from Lucy, and it's for £4.50. Thank you for that, Lucy. And the message is, Howdy Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers. Don't forget to spike the likes, y'all. Not going to be able to join tonight. Enjoy the stream and I'll catch you all at the next one with some rock horns of heart and peace. So, thank you for that, Lucy. And let me just scroll up a little bit. So, Lucy's going to be part of the catch-up crew tonight. Hello, Lucy, if you're watching this in the future. And you guys who are watching this in the future, in that catch-up crew, you can still hit that thumbs up. It is much appreciated. It really does help these live streams to get out there. But for the channel to grow as a whole and on the whole. And I can just see that More Than Words at the moment has 50% next to its name. So for the cover for tonight, we're literally tied. So everyone, if you haven't voted in the poll for tonight to have a listen to either More Than Words or Don't Slow Down, make sure that you vote so that we can get one of them to be a favourite. And at the moment it's really in the balance, 50-50. We will see where we end up, and it's just gone 20 past midnight here in the UK, so things are moving along. We've got the pick roulette coming up later as well, so we will have another lucky winner tonight, so good luck to everybody for that. And just scrolling up in the PayPal window, we've had another donation that's come in from Tortoro Porco. Thank you for that. And it's a £3 donation. And the message is, my last PayPal to you got stuck in pending again because of your American cousin. So I won't mention his band this time. So thank you for that, Tortoro Porco. And I think it might have gone through maybe earlier today. I'm sure that I got a confirmation email that it was pending, but then it was okay. So thank you for that, Richard. And I'm just going to scroll up because James has donated £13.78. Thank you for that, James. And the message is, keep up the good work. I have gotten way more than $20 worth of pleasure from watching your videos. So thank you for that, James, and for the kind words as well. I'm just glad that you find them entertaining and hopefully educational on some level as well. I know that certainly last night's video was one of those that went on for a bit longer because I was breaking down two guitarists and there's a lot of techniques in there. So yeah, by the time I finished with it, it's about half an hour in length. But there was quite a lot of stuff in there about pentatonic shapes, sliding, tapping, bends, hammer-ons, pull-offs, you name it. A little bit of shredding from Peter Frampton as well, with an alternate pick run that he did. So yeah, loads of stuff in there, and that's why it went on for a little bit longer. But hopefully you guys that do play guitar can maybe get a little bit out of it. And with that pentatonic shape, I was just going through that slide, which is, you always see these videos on YouTube that say one trick to be amazing at whatever it is, and there's lots of amazing tricks or crazy tricks or stupid tricks in order to get really good at golf, and I can assure you they never work. They say one really weird trick to hit your driver really far and really straight every single time. It doesn't work. I think these people that are demonstrating it are so good that they can just do it, and they assume that everyone else can do it because they've been playing since the age of 5. They haven't just literally picked up a club and are trying to do it and, oh, I can hit it 300 yards dead straight every time. Doesn't work. And it's the same for a lot of guitar videos where they have one weird guitar trick to be amazing at playing guitar, and it's never quite that simple. But if there was one tip that I would give to people, it is learning to slide through your pentatonic shapes to get 3 octaves out of both the shapes, the extended shape and the pentatonic shape 1. Because by doing that, you open yourself up to include lots of other scales with the notes that you're playing. And maybe I can demonstrate that later, but it might just turn into a bit of a guitar lesson rather than a live stream. So we definitely want to be getting through the live stream element here with the pick roulette and the pictures and all of that kind of stuff. So maybe I can demonstrate that later on. But thank you, James, so much for that donation and the kind words. And I'm just going to scroll up because Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, I grew up in the days of feedback, controlled and otherwise. How do you feel about feedback? Do you ever use it? So thank you for that, Steve. And obviously this isn't the kind of feedback where people say, I think you need to work at your vibrato or anything like that. We're talking about a feedback loop between the guitar and the amplifier. And that can be the same for your microphone and a PA system. It's about the signal getting repeated and starting a loop and just repeating itself to the point where I'm sure all of you guys know the sound of feedback, where somebody has spoken into a mic and then you get a really high screechy sound because of the feedback that's happening. And in the guitar sense, it's when you can play a note, and if you just get your guitar in the right position, you've got to have quite a lot of volume going on. That is one of the main ingredients to getting feedback, is playing at a loud volume. You'll never get feedback playing through a practice amp quietly. It's all about getting the signal loud enough to reach the microphone or the pickups of the guitar so that they then start repeating the signal. So it's got to be pretty loud, and this is why Jimi Hendrix was just the master of feedback, because he played really loud but he could always control it and he always knew where to get feedback. And when we're talking about knowing where to get feedback, I'm talking about a physical location on the stage. There will be a sweet spot where you can stand and angle your guitar to make sure that it does start that feedback loop, because it's all about sound waves hitting the guitar at a particular angle and then coming back to the amp and getting a bit of a feedback loop that way. The amp has got to be pointed at your guitar in order to get feedback, because you want the sound of the amp to come out to be picked up by the pickups of the guitar to then get the feedback going out of the amp again. If you imagine something I have explained before, I don't want to get into it too deeply, but imagine that I was just singing a note for a very long time and I kept increasing the volume of the amplifier behind me so that the noise of my voice was now being played into the microphone at the same volume that my voice was going into the microphone. So now the amp is playing back not only my voice, but it's playing back the same signal that it's just put out. So that's a feedback loop. It's hearing itself, and that's why when you're holding your guitar, you want to be in front of that amp. Obviously, if you're playing at a really loud volume, you can afford to be further away from the amp and you can find these sweet spots on the stage. And that's what Jimi Hendrix was so good at doing. You'll see sometimes he did walk over to his amp to make sure he got it, and he'd hold it at a particular angle to get the feedback loop going. But you can be a fair distance in front of your amp, angle the guitar in the right way, and this is why during the sound check, all the top players who do use feedback will always use their sound check to find the sweet spot of their feedback on the stage so that they know, right, if I stand here at this angle, I'm going to get it. So that's feedback in a nutshell. But in terms of how I feel about it, I love feedback. And feedback's one of those things that if you can get it, it's like a cherry on top, because you've got now endless sustain. You can hold a note, and I did this on my Parisian Walkways cover where there's a particular note that Gary Moore hit when he did it live, and he would just let that note feed back, and it's a loop. So it means that you just hold it. You don't have to do anything. And a lot of people on that video said, oh, what did you use in order to get that sustain? And I have to say, I didn't use, that's no pedals. That's just positioning yourself in the right place and just allowing the note to ring out. It'll keep on going endlessly. And that's the great thing about feedback. And sometimes you'll get overtones of feedback where it feeds back a different note to the one you're holding, and it can be really cool sometimes. So for me, feedback is great when it's controlled. You want to make sure that you're not just constantly getting feedback because you're just playing too loud and you've got too much top end in your sound and it just is screechy the whole time. You want to make sure that you're controlling your feedback. That's a really important part of it. But when it is controlled and it does pop up, then it's great in order to use in a live setting. And also in the studio, sometimes just ending a song with a bit of feedback is great. So yeah, I love feedback when it's controlled. When it's not controlled, it can be a bit of a nightmare. And that tends to be more with vocals and setting up your mics, because the PA system is usually behind you, so it means it's just throwing out the vocals at the mic again. So when you're playing at a loud volume, it is a bit of a nightmare. This is why you have to turn the speakers away from the microphones if possible. A lot of people have their PA system set up in front of the mic so that the volume's going out into the crowd and not going back into the microphones. But the only problem with that is that you now can't hear your voice, so then you'll need to have some kind of foldback at the front of the stage so that they're playing back your voice and you can hear it while you're singing, and that doesn't have to be at a ridiculously loud volume, just loud enough that you can hear it coming back at you, but that's foldback at the front of the stage. But let's not get into stage setups and all that kind of stuff with foldback and feedback, because we'll be here all night. But anyway, thank you, Steve, for that. I hope that answered your question. And Deb has donated £10. Thank you for that, Deb. And the message is, congrats, Phil, upon reaching 177,000 subs, and I will email you regarding the pint glass. So thank you for that, and that would be great. And just reading out that, it just kind of hit me how ridiculous 177,000 subscribers is. So thank you everyone for subscribing. And I do remember when I was at, I think, about 1,500 subscribers, and I mentioned this in an email to Desi, I think that was yesterday, where I was saying about where I would be gigging, and I basically built up 1,500 subscribers by just gigging every week. And you might meet 3 or 4 people, and you'd go out and you'd maybe give them a flyer or a card and say, oh, would you subscribe to the YouTube channel, please? And you might get 3 or 4 people a week, because not many people go out to watch original music, unfortunately, even in London, in Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus. I've mentioned this before about playing in venues where you think lots of people are going to turn up. Even on a Friday night, nobody was going out to watch original music, unfortunately. So yeah, after 3 or 4 people and many gigs, I worked it up to about 1,500. So, I mean, that was great. And it's good that some people were listening to the music, checking out my channel as well. So now to be at 177,000 is absolutely crazy, but it is much appreciated that you guys are now joining me on these live streams, because as you guys will notice, if you go quite far back in the live streams, that, yeah, when I first started live streaming on YouTube, I think there was maybe 2 or 3 people, and I probably did it for maybe 10 or 20 minutes because I just played a video or 2 and said thanks to the 2 people that were watching. And on Facebook, I did a similar thing, and on Facebook, I think we had maybe 20 or 30 people, so it was a little bit better over there. So now, yeah, to have this community, to have you guys, to have also the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, which you guys can join in with if you want to, is just great that we've got such a great community here. And quick shout out to the moderators in the live chat room for making that community and the live chat room such a great place to be. And we have Neil in there, and Carla, Deputy Lynn as well, and Laurie. So thank you guys for doing such a great job in that live chat room. And thank you, Deb, for that £10 donation, and I'll look out for that email. And scrolling up, we have Marie, who has donated £3.44 as well. Thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation. And Orlando has donated again, and this is for £1.50. So thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, question from Tony Sachs: is that a Cheshire accent or Lancaster? I will be fixing supper but listening in. So thank you for that, Orlando, and for this question, Tony Sachs. I don't know whether you're talking about my accent, but certainly it's not Cheshire or Lancaster. It's just, I don't know what you'd call it. I'm just outside West London, so I guess the only person that I can compare it with is probably Brian May. He was in West London, that's where he grew up, so his accent's probably relatively similar, but I think I've got a straight down the line accent. I think people listening to me would probably call me posh or like the Queen's. It's not really, the language is the Queen's English, but in terms of the Queen's accent, I'm not quite that posh. I'm just outside West London, so it's not necessarily any part of London. If it is any part of London, it'll be West London, just outside West London. So yeah, I'm not sure what you'd refer to my accent as, other than being from Berkshire. That is the county that I live in. So thank you for that, Orlando and Tony Sachs. But there are definitely different accents around England that are a lot more prominent and recognisable. I think if you are English, then you start to know all of the accents, and especially Manchester, Liverpool, you start to, I mean, even, Cheshire, Lancaster, and this southern part of England as well, where you've got a little bit more of a harsher accent, and sometimes you can't even understand some people because that sometimes happens with people who have a very strong Liverpudlian accent, but also you've got the Welsh accent where Wales is a different country, but it's all part of the UK. So when they speak English, but sometimes their pronunciation is a lot more different to what English people are used to. So most of the time it's fine, but you do get sometimes a really strong accent, and it's hard to sometimes pick out a word or two. And Scotland, when you're talking about different countries, sometimes the very strong Scottish accents are hard to make out. So even for English people, accents can be quite tough. But I think mine's pretty much straight down the line. Hopefully people can understand what I say to the point where the accent doesn't get in the way. So thank you for that, Orlando and Tony Sachs. And Sue has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. And it's a straight up donation without a message. So I know that there have been other donations in the super chat window, which I will quickly address before getting into the cover. We are at 50-50 at the moment. It's 50% either way. So if you guys can hit that thumbs up, that would be great for this live stream. But if you can click on the poll to just sway the vote one way or the other, because your vote could be the one that decides which cover we're going to look at tonight. It's currently just a dead heat at 50-50. So click on that poll between those two songs and we will see where we end up. We're at 195 likes so far, 196, aiming for 270. So if you guys can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We're aiming for 73 likes, I do believe, if my maths is correct. So just almost at 200. We're one off. So what we're going to do is, and I'm looking into the poll and it's still 50-50, so let's have a little look at the super chat donation windows. So thank you for this, Mike, who has donated $5, and the message is: drummer Charlie Fountain used a cardboard tube for storing posters to get feedback and could get various notes with it. So thank you for that, Mike. And when we're talking about, I haven't seen, he's using a cardboard tube for storing posters to get feedback. So he's obviously using a tube, taking those posters out in order to get feedback. Now, drum-wise, I'm not really sure how I haven't seen any guitarists using a cardboard tube for getting feedback, but thank you for that, Mike. And I don't know really particularly about drummers getting feedback. It's not something that I've looked into, but thank you for that, Mike. And Kate has donated $20 as well. Thank you for this, Kate. And the message is: love the way you know and talk about everything and anything. Laugh out loud. So thank you for that, Kate. And we do talk about a lot of things on these live streams. Sometimes it's diet and exercise, because I used to be a personal trainer and went to university, did sport and exercise science. Sometimes it's golf. Sometimes it's soccer. And a little bit of the time it's guitar and music, which I guess because I spend the whole rest of the week talking about guitars and music and singing, we have to even it up a little bit. But thank you for that, Kate. And Orlando has donated $2, and thank you for that. The message is: props to folks who were with Philip from the start! ! So thank you, Orlando, and a big shout out to those of you who have been here for many, many years. And I do shout out Rhiannon's name whenever she's in that live chat room, because she was my first ever patron over on Patreon. So always great to see her in the live chat room, because I have mentioned before, when you are making music, and I've been doing it since I was 19, so don't want to give away my age, but that was very close to 20 years ago. You don't have to be amazing at maths to work that out in terms of how old I am. But yes, I started at 19, starting bands, going to garages, rehearsing in there, going around a friend's house, rehearsing in his garage, trying to find some of his mates who might want to start a band. So yeah, from the age of 19, I'd say that it was probably 15 years, maybe 16 years of just hard graft, just doing it day in, day out, going to radio stations, independent radio stations, online radio stations, trying to get any kind of exposure. And there are plenty of independent radio stations that will have me talking on them, and this would have been years and years and years ago, but they'll be in their vaults somewhere. You'll be able to find them maybe sometime in the future. If things do get really successful, they'll say, oh, I interviewed that guy in 2011 or something. So yeah, it's been a bit of a long journey, but I really do think that over the last few years, it's been worth all of the hard work every single day that I have been putting into it. And when people start watching and it's great and you've got an audience, and I know that a lot of you people who have commented on the videos, but also over on Patreon, a lot of you guys that are my patrons, who I am massively appreciative to, and I appreciate all of your support. You do say, oh, have a week off or something from doing it, but I haven't stopped doing it since the age of 19. It's been literally a daily thing that I've just put hours into it. So I think it's something that I'm naturally just doing. Even when I have a day off, I still have an admin day. So I spend the day getting through emails, putting new merchandise out and sending off CDs, packaging them and checking that the address is all right, and I have to do the custom forms for the CDs as well. So I have to put the airmail stickers on there before I go down to the post office. So yeah, the days off are still admin days, and it's just something that I've done since the age of 19, just doing it day in, day out. It's a bit easier, I would say, than when I was going to DJs and getting up at 5 a.m, getting the train into London, and those trains were packed because everybody was going to work in London. I was going there with my bag full of CDs, hoping to catch some DJs as they came out of the station to talk to them. So again, you'll find that there are a lot of DJs who might remember me from hanging outside at like 8 a.m. in the morning, because they would do the morning program and their morning shift would be maybe between 6 and 8. So I had to be in London through the rush hour on the trains, and obviously then you go on the, once you get to, I don't know if you might not know the underground system in the UK, and when you get to Paddington, you then have to get the connections on the underground. Sometimes you have to make 3 or 4 connections to get to your desired location. So yeah, it was a little bit more hard work doing that, and I tended to only do that maybe a couple of times a week, because then I had to get back for teaching guitar. So yeah, it was certainly a lot of hard work, but like I said, I think it's all worth it in the end, because if you just stick at it, eventually something will give. If you just try everything, you'll find one thing that gives you a bit of a break, and you can make your own luck. I do believe that wholeheartedly. So yeah, and this is the other thing, that at no point has anyone ever come up to me and said, oh, let me give you this opportunity to do something and sell your music and become a very successful artist. It's all just been me doing it, and still is just me doing it, but I think that's a lot better, because I've maintained the rights to all of my music and the publishing, and I'm in control of everything, which is how I like it to be. And everybody knows out there how, especially on the channel, when I mention about the music industry and the fact that it is very dodgy indeed for anybody. Even people that are relatively switched on can still get hypnotized by the industry and people promising things that they then don't deliver on. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining me on the channel over the last few years, and especially over the last 10 years, if you've been here for a while, it has been much appreciated. That it's great to have, even just have a few people watching the videos, so the more the merrier. Thank you everybody for joining in with this live stream as well. And Danny has just donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, speaking of hard to understand accents, the Scotch-Irish accents from the mountains of Kentucky here in the United States. I don't think I've heard that accent, but it certainly sounds interesting. Scotch-Irish, and maybe with a little bit of an American accent in there as well. Maybe. That would be very difficult to understand. But thank you for that. And we are going to be jumping into maybe the cover video for tonight. It's 1:45 here in the morning, so I know that there have been other donations on PayPal, so I will skip it up a little bit because I'm just going to look at the donation. It's Orlando again who has donated £1.50. Thank you for that. And the message is, Tony Sachs, Corey Leah and others say, you have a wonderful and clear accent with a thumbs up. You may need to cast the deciding vote on the poll, Phil. So thank you for that, Orlando. And it looks like More Than Words is at 51%. So I'm quickly going to stop the poll while we have got a winner, if this is even possible to do while I am live. Clicking on the button, but nothing's happening. So anyway, just in case it changes, More Than Words is the cover that we are just about to have a listen to. So I should be able to click on it and stop the vote. And there's been 184 votes. So thank you everyone for voting in the poll. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up as well. We are at 225. We are closing in on that 270 target. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, let's see if we can get a spike of the lights going on. But let me end the poll, and I've clicked on it. That was a really close one tonight. 1% in it. And it was More Than Words that just made it. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Thank you guys over on Patreon for suggesting those two songs. I know that there are more than two songs that are requested, but I generally just find a couple that are quite close on votes. And I think it's good to open it up to everyone to have a vote on what's going on in terms of that cover. I can see that the results have come in as More Than Words 50%, Don't Slow Down 49%. So you don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out that YouTube can't quite do maths, because to win at 50% isn't right. But anyway, there must be a point percentage to that to make the fact that, you know, Don't Slow Down was 49. Anyway, here we go. This is my cover of More Than Words by Extreme. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! Hi guys, this is my first proper video of 2017, and it's my cover of More Than Words by Extreme, and I hope you like it. Rock! Saying I love you, it's not the words I wanna hear from you. It's not that I want you not to say, but if you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you more than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you Now that I've tried to talk to you and make you understand, all you have to do is close your eyes and just reach out your hands and touch me. Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I ever needed you to show. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you.
Hi guys.
There we have it. And that was a little double click on the mouse that I did there. I don't think we'll watch it again, but I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting for More Than Words, my version of it. The original version was by Extreme, that original version. Just talking about the mouse, I want to bring attention to the fact that because of your support over on Patreon, I was able to even buy a really fancy mouse, but this has still got 54% battery in it. And I don't know how many weeks ago I got it, but the battery's just lasting for years, which, well, obviously not years, but literally months. So that's good if you guys have only just joined in on the live streams. I used to use a battery operated mouse that sometimes would say during the live stream that the batteries are about to die, and that would be an absolute nightmare. So that mouse is so much more efficient, so thank you for all of the support and allowing me to get really cool stuff so that I can keep doing the live streams and not having to worry about changing batteries in the mouse. So 54%, I'm sure about 3 weeks ago I said it was at 56%, so it must be running on air or something, which is great. Anyway, let me get you guys back up on screen in the live chat room, and there you go. We have Vince, Jason, Corey, Frank in the house, Jennifer, Dwayne, who else? Sandy in there, and Deborah is in there as well. So hello guys, we're going to be taking a look at Deborah's picture in a second. In fact, why don't we do that now? Let me get the pictures up on screen, and we have to get the background up on screen first. And the order, we're not going to be having, actually let's have a look at Deborah's one first, because we just mentioned Deborah in the live chat room. And this is Deborah with her not only Wings of Pegasus pint glass, but a sunflower from her garden. So thank you, Deborah, for sending this one along and for uploading it, and setting off a bit of a theme that Steve tagged into, or tagged onto, I should say, because Steve also has his Wings of Pegasus glass. Thank you for that, Steve. And I can't quite, oh, does it say stout? A flavoured stout? Does that say on the bottle? It's a bit small for me to make out, but there is the Wings of Pegasus pint glass and some, I don't know what you call that, like a garden feature in the background as well. So thank you for that, Steve, for continuing on that kind of garden theme that was set up by Deborah. And let me see if I can find Mimi's picture that she uploaded as well. And this is almost like a poster because it's got the Wings of Pegasus logo on there. And Mimi says, or Mimas says, I sip whenever Phil describes a guitar sound as crunchy. And there we have it on the mug. So thank you for that, and some rock horns in there as well. So thank you for that, Mimi, and just for doing that whole poster thing, because it's very professionally done. And I don't know how regularly I say about tones being crunchy, so maybe it's probably not a very good drinking game, because with drinking games, if there's alcohol involved, I know that people like to have games where they drink quite a lot, whereas maybe I mention crunchy now and again, but certainly not too much in the videos. I haven't mentioned crunchy in terms of a chocolate bar, but I do like a crunchy now and again. I don't know who make those. Is it a Cadbury's crunchy? Might be something like that, but the only side effect of that is it sticks to your teeth a bit. Anyway, let's get away from chocolate bars. Thank you, Mimi, for uploading that. And we should have... oh, hang on, no, this is... hang on, this is... I've clicked on Gene, but it's definitely not Gene. So let me get rid. And we might have to have a look to see what has happened here with the software. I was going to click on one and another one's popped up. So we've got a little bit of an issue with the pictures, which I will try and sort out. And it might have been that I was looking at the wrong picture. Was that... I think that was Gene's picture that was showing up. Gene's here. So Mimi, this isn't Mimi, this is Gene. I think that my software is trying to throw me off the scent here, and I don't know where Mimi has gone. But Gene is in front of Mimi. So thank you, Gene, for uploading this picture. And I don't know what is going on with the software. So just to make sure that you guys can see that this is Gene up on screen. Thank you for doing this, Gene. And Mimi, I promise that I will try and get your picture on screen by the end of the live stream at some point. But yeah, my software is obviously... just rearrange the pictures in the wrong order, and I will try and sort that out. But thank you for uploading all of the pictures over at Wings of Pegasus. Actually, it's the Facebook page. The group is where you want to upload them, so that's facebook.com. Just type in the search bar Wings of Pegasus group, and you will be able to find it. Technically, it's the supporters group, but if you just type in Wings of Pegasus supporters group, probably if you want the whole thing, you'll be then able to find that group. And I'm hoping that this is going to work, because I did upload Vince's pictures as well that he did about him playing soccer. Here we go. So this one's working. Thank you, Vince, for uploading this one. I'm not sure that it's technically football kit that would be allowed on the pitch, but we've got Vince there doing a header. Looks like almost like a diving header. And there was another one where Vince was celebrating with a ball in front of the TV. And this might be because of the fact that England won their last match in the Euro 2020 competition. And I know it's 2021, but they're still calling it 2020 because it's delayed by a year. And we've got another match, I think it's on Tuesday, and that is now a playoff match. I don't know whether you understand what a playoff match is. It's like the last 16 teams, so it means that if you lose, you are out. So fingers crossed for England when they play next. And thank you, Vince, for uploading that. And like I said, I will try and sort out the pictures to make sure that we get Mimi up on screen as well. So thank you for uploading those. We're going to be jumping into the pick roulette now as well. It is 1 AM here in the UK, and we are at 256 likes, so we are getting close. And the pick roulette likes goal is set at 270. So if you can keep on hitting that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. We've got 14 to go. We're looking for 14 new people in the live chat room to hit that thumbs up. So let's get into the pick roulette for tonight. Hopefully this is going to work in the software, and that was just a minor blip. So we will see, and I'll see you guys again in a second. Rock! So let's see if the wheel comes up on screen, and there it is. Thank goodness for that. Right, so if this is the first time that you're seeing this pick roulette wheel, what happens is We click on the shuffle button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's totally randomized. And you can see the t-shirt segment going through as well. If we land on that, then we have a separate t-shirt roulette. And let me pick someone in order for my top tip. And I'm going to pick Mimi. So we're going for Mimi again because, yeah, that is apt given the whole picture situation we had going on. So good luck, everybody. We're going to give this a spin and see who is going to win. And this is always much too fast in order to see the names. We have to wait for it to slow down a little bit to see where Mimi is, to see if I can get the top tip for tonight to actually come through. And the t-shirt roulette, oh, I think the t-shirt's not going to be a winner for tonight. So we are looking through and I can see Mimi. It's not quite going to get that far. We got Carl, we got Susan, and it's going to get as far as Joan. I'm not sure. It is. It has got as far as Joan. It always goes a little bit further than you expect. So congratulations to Joan. And Joan, you have won. So if you can let yourself be known in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that Carla can start to organise everything with you in order to get the Wings of Pegasus signed pick sent off to you. And commiserations to everybody else on that pick roulette wheel. There's always another chance to win. This is the great thing. If we keep on hitting these likes goals, then you can have another pick roulette next week, and maybe next week it will be your lucky week. But congratulations to Joan for winning the pick roulette tonight. And I should be back up on screen now. Thank you everyone for entering that. And if we do hit the likes goal tonight, we're looking for 6 more people in order to do that. If we do hit that target, then you can type I agree in the live chat room and get your name on next week's pick roulette wheel. I believe we're having another one on Tuesday. So if you really want to win a Wings of Pegasus signed pick, then tune in on Tuesday nights as well, because then you double your chances being on both wheels on Tuesday and Saturday. But congratulations to Joan. So I'm going to attempt to maybe try and find Mimi's picture, see if I can get this on screen somehow live. I don't know whether this is going to be possible to do. And it is Mimi's Tumblr, I believe, that we're going to be having a look at, or at least attempting to have a look at. So I'm going to be trying to do this live, and I'm going to try and use the pick roulette window that I've just shown the pick roulette, and I've moved it, and let me edit the size of it. Right, so this could work. The pick roulette music is going to start up when I show the picture, so it's going to be slightly more dramatic, but here we go. Here's having a go at trying to do it, and there it is working. So thank you, Mimi, for uploading your Tumblr, and we did get there in the end. This is Mimi's Tumblr, and we have a great picture of a different angle as well. So looking at the top, you can see the way that it's put together, but also the way that I think the insulation design in terms of keeping things warm and keeping things cold. I'm not sure whether it's the same as a flask, whether it's going to be that dramatic in terms of keeping the heat or the cold in, because I'm not sure how, I don't know, conductive the lid is, whether that'll let out a bit of the heat or the cold. But anyway, I'll be able to report to you guys firsthand when I receive mine. But thank you so much for uploading that, Mimi, and apologies for not showing that immediately, and also apologies Jean for getting that mix up previously. But let me also show, I can maybe get rid of that picture and maybe show Jean's one again, so that we can at least keep it a little bit more official. So there is Jean's picture that is very professional with the logo and with her mug as well. So thank you for that, Jean. And let me now see if we can get back to normal, which we have done. So I know that there have been some PayPal donations. Let me quickly get that up on screen as well. So thank you guys for all of the donations tonight. I'm just going to scroll up because Patricia has donated £4. Thank you for that. And the message is, hey Phil, I know for some time now you've been too busy with the channel to work on new, original and cover music, but typically how long does it take you to complete a cover from start to finish? So thank you for that, Patricia. And it used to take me probably about 2 weeks in terms of getting down all of the instruments, trying to figure out what's being played and then trying to play it myself. And when I did the covers, I was teaching during the day as well. So now that I'm not teaching as much, or not teaching since the whole COVID thing, and yeah, I've got more I would have more time if I wasn't spending the whole day on keeping up with everything going on with the channel. So probably I'm spending more time on the channel now than I was teaching. So in terms of, I don't know how long it would take me to put together a cover now, because I'm literally doing something every single minute of the day, keeping up with the channel and just all of the messages and all of the under the spotlight organization that goes on in the background, getting guitarists for the future, contacting them, exchanging emails. So yeah, but in terms of when I was just teaching, it would take me about 2 weeks to get down a cover. But as you guys will know from back then, I did a riff of the week video on a Sunday, and I would just occasionally give an update as to how the cover was going. So in terms of the videos that I was uploading, now I'm doing a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday in terms of video uploads and live streams. So I'm doing something pretty much every day. The other 2 days I really do need, on a Monday and Thursday, to try and catch up with everything that happens while I'm doing the videos on the other days. So say for example, I do a video on a Friday, then a live stream on a Saturday, and then a video on a Sunday. While I'm live streaming now, and it's not too bad with the live streams because it usually takes about 2 to 3 hours of my time, and then after, when I'm uploading it to Patreon as well, and that's not too bad because then I get 2 to 3 emails, or 2 to 3 hours worth of emails and 2 to 3 hours worth of messages and comments on YouTube, because I've done over 1,000 videos. Maybe it's close to 1,500 now, I don't know, but people are commenting and asking questions on videos that I might have done 3 years ago. People are still commenting, so I'm still replying to all of those. It's not just last night's video or the video a couple of nights ago or a week ago. They go back a few years, so I have to keep up with all of the comments and questions and emails that are being made while I'm now live streaming. And also when I'm making an analysis video, that takes typically between 8 to 12 hours. So it means that for those 8 to 12 hours, I'm not answering emails or doing comments or that kind of stuff. So that's why once I've done my analysis video, uploaded it, rendered it, all that kind of stuff, hopefully by 2 a.m. That's what I aim for. And then I'm going through till about 5, half 5 in the morning, just catching up with all of the messages that happened while I'm doing stuff. So this is it, that while you are creating, and it would be the case that if I just said, right, I'm going to do another cover, that would be 2 weeks worth, and all the time that I'm spending listening to the track and working out the parts, I'm getting emails and I'm getting questions. And I might be getting questions and emails on Patreon as well, which is something that I definitely prioritize people's messages because they're patrons of mine. They are the most important people supporting the channel, making everything that I do here possible in the first place. So I make sure that I respond within 24 hours to every single message over on Patreon. So yeah, keeping up with everything. If I was just to say, right, for 2 weeks I'm going to be doing a cover video, it means that on the 15th day, I would have 2 weeks worth of emails and comments and questions. So at the moment, I'm just keeping up with everything, and I am keeping up. So I think I'm just going to keep on going as quickly, well, as much as I can, keeping up as quickly as possible. I know that 177,000 subscribers is probably a bit crazy for one person to be doing it all, but I am just about still keeping up, and I will endeavour to do that, and hopefully in the future it will be the case that I can start to offload some of the workload, but it's just me figuring out what I can offload, because so many of the questions and messages are specific to my knowledge base of guitars and amps, effects, performances, vocals, live setups, rehearsals, and even guitar lessons, chords, lead shapes, you know. So a lot of questions I can answer, but I'm not sure that if I got somebody to help that they would be able to answer them in the same way. So yeah, I'll have to see in the future. But thank you, Patricia, for that donation. It is much appreciated. So the answer was about 2 weeks, but I wasn't doing everything that I'm doing now just to keep up with everything, with the amount of messages that I get from the 177,000 people that are watching the videos. But thank you, Patricia, for that. And Leilani has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Leilani. And the message is, that was Gene. I sent the Tumblr. So thank you for that. And I did manage to figure it out when my software was not showing the picture that I thought it was. And it was telling me that the poster was Mimi. Thank you, Leilani, as well, for just clarifying that with that message. And I did get there. This must have been sent when I was messing it up, so thank you for trying to put me on the right track. And Joan has donated £25. Thank you for that, Joan. And the message is, yippee, can't wait to get my signed pick. So Joan is definitely in the house, and her pick is going to be on the way to her very soon. So congratulations, Joan. Thank you for entering, and I hope you enjoy the pick when it does arrive. And thank you, Carla, as well, for organising everything to do with the pick roulette and sending off the picks. So I'm just going to scroll up because Mario has donated £150. Thank you so much for that very kind donation again, Mario. And Mario's guitar, you might be able to see the Maton right at the back there. I'm not very good at pointing today. There it is. And we also have the Steve Vai gem here. This is Mario's guitar that he sent to me. Is it even in on? I don't think that's actually turned up very loudly. Maybe you guys heard that. Maybe you didn't. But there was a nice A chord for you guys on Mario's guitar. So thank you so much for sending that over, Mario. And I used that for last night's video analysis as well, performance analysis. So you can check that out if you want to as well, because we had a bit of whammy bar action going on. But the message is, hi Phil, I spent most of yesterday making salami, family tradition, silly enough I give most of it away to friends and family, a bit tired at the moment but relaxing here, watching the live stream being attacked by my cat Pia. Laugh out loud with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Mario. And I am a bit partial to, I don't know whether it's counts as salami, maybe it does, I'm not sure, but it's an Americana pizza, something like that, or an American pizza. And it's got the pepperoni on the top. So I don't know. I think pepperoni is maybe different to salami, but it kind of looks the same, I think, if I'm thinking of the right stuff. But I think maybe pepperoni has a little bit more of a kick to it. I don't know. But hopefully, I think salami I have had before with salads and stuff. So salami and ham. So anyway, thank you, Mary, for that donation. And Mario as well is getting the animals involved. So Pia is involved, as Mario said at the end of that message. So hello to Pia, which is Mario's cat as well. This is a family friendly and also an animal friendly live stream. So feel free to get your animals watching as well. So anyway, we are at 278 likes. So we have hit our target for the pick roulette next week. So now what we have to do is, if you type in the live chat room like this, at Carla, and then Carla's name, Carla Murray pops up, click on her name, and then type I agree with lots of exclamation marks, and you will see that. You'll see my message going through the live chat room in a second or two, because that's what you have to type in order to get your name on the Pick Roulette wheel for next week. So look out for that message as it goes through. Hopefully a few more people will comment in order for you guys to be able to see my comment go through. But just copy what I've typed in order to get your name on the Pick Roulette wheel for next week. And it's about to go through, as you can see, at Carla Murray, and then I agree. That's what you need to type. Let's have a little look over on Patreon to play another video to give you guys an opportunity to type I agree. It's 1:15 here in the morning, so we are going to be calling things to a close very soon, and you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. It really does help the channel to grow and these live streams to get out there. So let's have a little jump over to Patreon and have a look at some of the requests. We've got Constantia, who requested We Can Fall Down, Amelia as well, Amelia from Deborah, Paris North from Cindy, and also Amelia. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of a theme so far. We did have Haunted at the beginning, which was Deb and Leanne and Carla who requested that, so thank you guys for that at the beginning. Leilani has requested Amelia as well, and I think Teresa as well at the bottom. So let's have a little look at Amelia. This is going to be the acoustic version, where I think I explain it before I start the video about me singing with myself. But I hope you guys enjoy this, and type I agree. This is your chance to type I agree while this video is playing, because then we're going to be calling the live stream to a close at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock! Alright, Phil here, Wings of Pegasus, and I had a little bit of spare time, so I thought I'd whip down an acoustic version of a track called Amelia, which will be on the album once it comes out. Now I've decided to sit on the squeakiest chair ever. Hopefully that won't affect it too much. Now the idea that I've got in my head is to play along like a version now, and then play along to that version afterwards, and then hopefully sort of sync it up somehow. But it should work. In my head, I think it's going to be fine. So let's see. Imagine if I told you all the things that I never took the time to tell. Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand that you and I is lost forever. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you leave me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say that time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway. Ever since we parted, all this pain has started. It's never ending. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Don't tell me you love me when you're sorry. It's not enough. Oh no, oh And there we have it. That was my acoustic version of Amelia, and that's an album track from my album called Persistence, which you can pick up at wingsofpegasus.com/music, and you can just head over to wingsofpegasus.com and you will find all the music there. You can get the songs individually if you want to download them, and they are available on iTunes and Amazon as well, but it's better for me if you go to my website, because then I don't have to give away a percentage. So that was the website, and hopefully you guys have typed I agree. I made a bit of a mistake by getting rid of the chat room earlier on, or after the cover. I'm not sure when it was. Oh no, after the pick roulette there was maybe not the live chat room up on screen. So it means that if you typed I agree earlier on and the live chat room wasn't on screen, then your name won't be on the wheel. So this is why I just typed in the live chat room. Even if you typed I agree earlier on, make sure that you type it again and tag Carla Murray's name in your comment, because then it makes it easier for Carla to see it when she makes a note of all of the names for next week's pick roulette. But I'm hoping that everyone who wants to type I agree has typed I agree, because we're going to be calling things to a close. I'm going to keep a little bit of an eye on the live chat room to see if any of the names go through with I agree, and I can't see any of them at the moment, so maybe we have got everybody on the pick roulette wheel next week that is required. I can see that Lou is just about to go through with I agree, and Lou's put lots of and it's now disappeared, so the message has been deleted. So that's a shame, but there is, I think, a few more I agrees going through. Michelle is about to go through with an I agree, and Melinda as well. So there's still a few I agrees. I'm going to just try and elongate it a little bit, because we've got DJ K that has typed it as well. Oh, Bloom, Patty as well, with lots of thumbs up in order to make it stand out a little bit more. But I don't think we've got time to play another video. It's a little bit late here in the UK, and as you guys all know, I've got to get through all of the messages before bedtime tonight. That is usually very early in the morning, but I think we've maybe got all of the I agrees in there. So thank you guys for joining me tonight, and look out for the live stream on Tuesday. They are always at 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, so you can check your time zone, type it into Google and see what time it is in London, so then you can compare the time that it is here with the time that it is there. And it's London in England. I know that there's a London in the USA as well. You don't want that one. So hopefully you guys can work it out in order to join me live on Tuesday and Saturdays. I know that some people do join in a little bit late and still think it's live, but check your time zone first in order to know whether it's live or not. So there's going to be another pick roulette wheel next Tuesday. If you've typed I agree, then you're going to get your name on next week's pick roulette wheel as well. And I'm just going to I can see that JPR PH1 is just about to go through with an I agree, so I'll let that one go through. And that is going to be it for tonight. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you have enjoyed the live stream, and thank you everyone for making it such a great place to be with these live streams, in the live chat room, the whole community that we get together on a Tuesday and a Saturday. Big shout out to the moderators for doing such a great job in that live chat room. And I'm going to be doing another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. Make sure that you're subscribed and you've hit that notification bell in order to get notified for all of the analysis videos and the live streams and the Under the Spotlights that will be happening on the first Sunday of every month. That'll be next Sunday that we'll be looking at Daniel Donato. So make sure that you don't miss that. And have a fabulous rest of the weekend. Try to stay as safe as possible and follow your government's guidelines, whatever they're suggesting you do, with face coverings, self-distancing, all that kind of stuff. because yeah, it's certainly a strange time to be living in, but we've just got to stay as safe as possible and get your vaccinations if possible as well. I've had one and I'm waiting to get my second one, but hopefully that'll be relatively soon now, because I think it's going to be close to 8 weeks since I had my first one. But I think with the variant that we've had here, the Delta variant, which was the Indian variant, I think it was called previously, that, yeah, we're really now focusing on getting the older generation really vaccinated. But I think pretty much everyone has been at least once. It's getting those second ones out there that we're concentrating on at the moment, but pretty much we're rolling it out as fast as possible here in the UK. So I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and just stay safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night with an analysis video, and hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday night for another live stream and another pick roulette. So Orlando's just donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando, just before I was about to say goodbye. So the message is a great live stream. Have a great one all. So thank you for that, Orlando. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!